Okay, so let's imagine that you're starting a new product, and this product has some kind of an AI feature in it. I hope you started to think about new stuff and not just a button that has a summarized thingy on it. And maybe you started to think that, oh yeah, this LLM boom is basically changing the game. Because now, products are possible that were impossible before. So it's the case, the future, and so on. But I would say that's actually the least interesting part about the AI boom. What's the biggest risk when you start a new product? And especially an AI product. Is this the bias and the hallucinations? Is this the training data? It's hard to get good amount of data and good quality data. Maybe your solution cannot scale, or it's too expensive. Or it's not even feasible with the current technology. We have to wait a year or something like that. If you Google what are the biggest risks, this is what you have found. But I would say that's just pure survivorship bias, because these articles are written by big companies, so actually Amazon, Google, and so on. And with survivorship bias, there is a selection, and we always need to see what are the samples that we don't see. So what are the samples that we don't see is the 90% of the products that are failing right away, because nobody cares about them. And I think what's really cool about the latest AI boom that you can help with it. And why I'm talking about this, because with these two, I started a software agency or a product studio, and I'm the technical co-founder of it. Yeah, I'm the same person, I promise. Just different hair, yeah. And in the last year, I've seen quite a few leads and quite a few people coming to us with product ideas, maybe early ideas, maybe ideas that are more mature. And I've seen 3 examples failing miserably. And I'm a CTO of a small agency. And I'm pretty sure there are a good amount of other CTOs, a good amount of other agencies. If I'm seeing 3, then you can imagine how many there are that are already failed. But I think we can learn from this. So the most interesting part that with AI tools, then basically we are able to mitigate this value risk. But to figure out how and what's the exact way, unfortunately, we have to talk about the old stuff: lean product development and adoption of new technologies. And I'm kind of embarrassed to show this in a product conference. I guess all of you know this. If you don't tell to the others. Find us in a booth, in a safe place, we'll teach you and so on, no worries about it. But the idea here, so if you have this metaphor of your product vision as a car, and you would like to build that, you shouldn't focus on the parts of it and create ready-made amazing solutions for that, but rather right away create something that does the same thing. So the metaphor here is a scooter that gets you from A to B, but it's way easier to build than a full car. So let's talk about prices. What's the price of the product vision? But to figure out the whole thing, we need to talk about how was it before LLMs and after. So to create a product vision that had an AI feature in it, you only had the chance to add an AI feature in the motorcycle phase. And the price of it was quite big. So to get to just a 60% accuracy with that AI feature, you had to spend at least 3 to 6 months, and you had to hire the big data people or data scientist people, and they are expensive. So you easily have spent €500,000 just to have something that's a bit better than a coin flip. And to perfect that, you had to spend that 1 or 2 years, so basically additional 1 or 2 million to perfect it, to gather enough data and so on. You basically couldn't start with an AI feature because you needed to have the training data to build your model. But also, people tend to forget about it's a product. You still need the non-AI part, and it's still quite expensive. It's very likely that you have users, so you need some kind of an authentication, user management, dashboards for your admins, product metrics. If you don't have it, then you should. Hosting, a flashy mobile app or front end or something like that, and also the backend processes, connections with all the other tools and so on. So this is the map of the old times. You haven't had a chance for an AI feature, but later you got something in the motorcycle phase, and you easily have spent even 6 million a couple of years to have something that resembles your vision. But let's talk about the prices in the AI age. The AI part got quite a lot cheaper. So to get to that 60% accuracy, it's not true for all the use cases, but the majority of the use cases are replaceable by some kind of pre-built model. So maybe an OpenAI model or a self-hosted model or something like that. But basically, you can get that accuracy right away without training. And in a month, you can have something that resembles the same. And it's really important that you don't need data people anymore. You just need a developer, and right away, they can call OpenAI or something like that, and it's going to work. But with some caveats, and let's talk about these. I think one of the biggest questions is the price, and it's a tricky beast, because in one hand, LLM API prices are getting cheaper every week, but also many of these new technologies are started on a discounted price. Basically, many of these technologies are unsustainable. They're just coming up as a hype, and we don't exactly know the exact price. So if you start to do any kind of feasibility study on the monetary value and pricing, it's most likely you will have something obsolete in a week. So I basically advise, don't do it. It's going to be bullshit right away. Let's talk about the iPhone a bit. So the iPhone came out in the middle of 2007. And when it was coming out, on the keynote, they were saying that this is the iPhone, and you will be able to develop applications on it, and the application is going to be web applications. That was the pitch in 2007. And it gradually changed to, OK, we will have native applications. You will have to do it in Objective-C. And it took a year to have the App Store, and basically have the de facto way how you are distributing applications to your users. And I think we can learn a lot from this. And we are in a really similar situation with AI. There are still quite a few technologies changing, and also the de facto way for distribution is not really discovered yet. So if you started to build some kind of an infrastructure for your models, or for your own LangChain or something like that, it's basically just waste of time, because way bigger players are building tools to support these. And I've seen companies in the last year building LangChain solutions, figuring out how they can prompt stuff and get something from OpenAI and so on, and spent a year building that infrastructure. And a big company just came up with a solution, software as a service solution, that has a monthly fee of 20 euros. And basically, you can build the same thing in an afternoon. Also about distribution channels. Similarly as with the iPhone, it's not trivial what's going to be the real distribution channel of AI tools. Is it built in your product? Is it a marketplace or something like that? It was quite similar with the GPTs. When it came out, I think it deleted 90% of the market of AI products right away, because quite a few of them that they were building for months and months was recreatable in an afternoon, and had a de facto channel that this is how you're going to market that application. So let's get back to the pricing. Let's talk about the other end, the prototype. So by prototype, I really mean some kind of an MVP that you should be embarrassed about, and also something where you can already start the value testing. So basically, you can start some kind of a marketing campaign and validate if it's a good idea or not. For that, you need a marketing website. You need some kind of a manual prototype. And by manual prototype, I mean maybe a lot of the features in the background are manually done by admin people, a convincing UI, and you haven't had a chance for AI. And you easily have spent 70,000 to get something like this. But now, most of the AI tools get really good, and also the site generators are having AI tools. Also, automation tools are integrated with AI, and you can recreate the whole thing for a fraction of the price. And also, right away, because of these AI integrations, you can have AI features in your prototypes. And not just in a way that there is an AI feature, but AI can solve a lot of the manual prototyping ideas that you did manually by automating it right away. Let's talk about the AI part in the vision. What I think most of the vision level solutions would have some kind of a hybrid model. So maybe not all the use cases can be covered by third-party services. But I would say in many of the cases, at least 80% of the use cases can be covered with models. And then you build your traditional AI solutions next to them. So it's easily half the price compared to how it was 4 years ago. So I think this is the whole picture. You can see in many of the cases it got way cheaper, and also right away you get AI and not like just on the end where you have enough data for it. But what does this exactly mean? If you started to think that, oh, the cars is on sale, that's the wrong message. What's the real difference here, and where is 20 times difference, is how prototyping got amazingly cheaper with these tools. And yes, there are some problems with it. I'm going to go into details. But basically what I advise to experiment and create different value propositions, figure out your prompts. I think every business has this goal now to figure out their domain-related prompts about their business. And basically, if you play around with numbers a bit, you will figure that if you have 20 experiments and each of them would have 10% of success, then altogether you have 87% of chance that at least one of them will work for the exact same price, and already you have some kind of an AI feature in it. So let's talk about the how. We have created a white paper about this, but actually every quarter we create a white paper about the latest topics on AI and product development. And in this white paper, we recreated the feature set of X, or formerly on Twitter. I refuse to call it X, sorry about it. So we recreated the feature set, of course, not the full feature set, but basically the feature set that would be enough to validate that product and to figure out if people are excited about it or not. And we have written down all the ideas about it. I'm not going to have enough time to go all to the details, but you can download the white paper, and also you can visit our booth, and we are happy to share it with you. What we created there, you can log in. You can log in with Google, also password remember, and so on. So basic utilities there. And the basic functionality of a homepage. So you are able to follow people. You see all the tweets. You are able to create a new tweet, retweet stuff, also multimedia tweets, so images, videos, and so on. You can like other tweets. And you have your profile page, so basically profile picture, cover picture, details about you, and also you can manage your subscriptions. And we have created this in a month, a single person actually, the guy with the mustache. And we have learned a lot, but I think what was really interesting that even during the whole thing, we were not just building it, but doing the research for all the tools, and that's how it took us to do it in a month. So it's most likely that you can do the same thing in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And yes, it's not an all-powerful tool, but because, for example, it's really hard to create big applications and difficult applications in it. But if your MVP is difficult and complex, you already have some kind of a problem there. Also, as soon as you need another person to work on that project, it's really hard because the version control systems in these tools are not the best so far. Also, to move between these tools and have some kind of a custom code integration is in its early stage. I think it will get better because there are tools that are getting better with traditional code integration, but most of them are not there yet. And it's really hard to transition from these tools to traditional programming. But it's really cheap. So if you can create something in 2 weeks, you don't have to transition that. You can rebuild the whole thing when you validated that it is working. And what's really nice there, that right away you can generate UI. In many of the cases, I wouldn't say you never need a designer, but for just value proposition validation, right away you can get something with a single person right away, and it's quite convincing, and it looks good. Also, the built-in features like user handling and so on, and metrics are already there, so you don't have to build that infrastructure. And the plugin system is amazing. Like, if you need to interface with any other tool, it's very likely there is a plugin for that, and right away you can build that product. And to fine-tune and test that, it's way easier. It's just a couple of clicking, and right away you have a different version of the whole thing. So if you want to have more information about all this, visit our booth, and we are happy to talk about it. Thank you.